Let me check that it's recording. It's flashing, so I think it's recording. Yep. Okay. Hey,
Hi.
everybody. This is
Hi.
Cynthia Young. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cynthia.
Thank you so much for joining me, Cynthia. This is our second video in our Who We Are. This is us, a little series that I'm putting together. And we spoke recently with Tanya from down in New Zealand, and she's German. And so now we have Cynthia, so tell us about your background, Cynthia.
Yeah, I'm actually moved from Malaysia to Australia just last year, March.
Just last year.
Yeah, just last year, March. So I worked in an office. I was actually an architect, but after moving to a new country, I decided to do something that I'm very passionate about, and something which is more family friendly, like child friendly. So I decided to pursue my cert 3 in childcare education.
That's a big
And
change.
yeah, and then now I work in a childcare center, and I really like it.
Can you hear my dog barking in the background? Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Dog's barking. That was bad timing. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
So, Ani, your English is so good. Did you learn English in Malaysia?
Yes, we learn English in Malaysia. So in Malaysia, we need to learn 3 languages when we were in school. We learned the Malay language, which is the official language, and then the second language is English. And the third one is our mother tongue, which is the optional language. So I learned Mandarin in school since we were in primary school, like say 6, 7 years old.
Right. So your family's from China originally?
My great-grandparents from China and then moved to Malaysia and
And
then
you get
migrate
the
to
language,
Malaysia.
you get Mandarin. Is it Mandarin you speak?
Yeah, Mandarin, yes.
And so through your family, they continue to speak Mandarin at home?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so good. You're so lucky that they did that. Because now you have
Yeah, thank you. Yes. When I was young, I had difficulty speaking in Mandarin because when I was really small, my parents just speak to me in English. And I remember going to school in the first day, the Chinese school, and I cried coming home. I don't understand anything. And then since then, my mom started to talk more in Mandarin at home, and my dad spoke to me in English. So that's how I kind of grew up with 2 languages. And then we learned Malay language with our teachers and friends in school.
So what age were you when you went to that school?
7.
7. So you were
Yeah.
suddenly in a school when you did at 7 years old, you didn't understand anybody. That's a real challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, your parents, took the initiative to start speaking more at home, and so you grew up with. Sorry, your dad spoke English, yeah?
No, my dad is also Malaysian,
All right.
but he is English educated. He
So he
doesn't
spoke
speak
English at
much.
home, and your mum spoke Mandarin.
Yeah.
All right from growing up.
Yeah, but when we were more grown up, they start speaking dialect among themselves. Yeah, so I learned the dialect
As
also.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
They're extra languages.
Yes, but there are like a variation of Mandarin, like different kind of dialect, different kind of Mandarin, but they sound totally different.
And when you came to Australia a year ago, did you find that how was it trying to understand the Australian accent or Australian slang or expressions? Was that okay, or was it a bit hard?
Yeah, when I came, it was hard for me because sometimes I don't really understand, like they say good day or something like that. And when I went to study, sometimes my educator, my trainers start speaking that for fun, just to tease us from from other country, and we were like, "What are you talking about?" And then slowly we are picking up from our colleagues, from our friends. It's getting there good. It's
And
fun, get
you feel
embrace other
comfortable
people.
speaking the language now?
Yeah, not too bad, yes.
Great, because you speak very clearly.
Oh, thank you.
So, change of country, change of language, or extension, or putting your learnings into an experience with your English, and then a change of career. That's like a
Yeah.
So your girl is, how old is she now?
She's 2.5.
Wow, that's a huge lifestyle change. So you've been, how did you find adjusting to childcare as a new career?
You mean my daughter?
No, when you moved into childcare as a career, are you pleased with your change? How did you find it made you happy, or was it challenging, or what did you think?
It's very different from office job. In office job, it's pretty relaxing. You just work in front of the laptop, and sometimes I go to site to check the buildings and all that. But now it's more challenging because you need a lot of energy and passion to work with the children. But since university time, I've always very passionate about languages. That's why I took Spanish as well in my.
Spanish as well. Wow.
Yeah. So I was really enthusiastic about sharing language to children, especially to see how they pick up the language and start remembering and thinking in another language. It's actually pretty exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
And is that, how have you found it then? How have you found the children reacting? So which languages have you been sharing with the children?
So I share with them in Mandarin. That's my mother tongue. And then they're pretty good actually, especially like, for example, my first activity with them was counting 1 to 10 in Mandarin. So we did the mystery bag game. So I have 10 objects in the bag. So I will say, okay, now we have to count 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if you can count, you can pick one of your favorite toy and you own it for a while. And then, so they because they have the motivation to own something that they like, they started to count 1, 2, 3. And, when they see their friends can do it, they are even motivated to do it. So that before I know it, a group of 5 children starting to take turns and count 1 to 10. Some they need a little bit of help, but the effort that they put in really encourages me as an educator.
And did you do that in a group setting with a big group of Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you do that in a big group or a small group, or just in a casual sort of play environment within the classroom?
Yeah, because I am a casual educator, so normally I will only initiate this game when it's in a casual setting. Like for example, we are playing at the yard, and there are many activities going on. Some playing in the sandpit, some they are engaging in other loose part play, and I was always sitting at below. A tent, like a shed. So some of the children just came and talked to me. And then I said, oh, do you want to learn 1 to 10 in Mandarin? And then they were curious, what is this? And then I start counting for them so that they can hear me. And said, yeah, I want to learn it. And then they start doing it, yes.
Love that you took that initiative. That's really good. And I find it really interesting that you being a casual, so because you're not there all the time and you feel like you're not running group sessions, or you're not sure if you can run group sessions, that you just take, okay, this is where I am. I'm in the playground or I'm inside, and you just take that time to think, oh, this is an opportunity I can bring in some words.
Yeah.
That's great, because there are a lot of, as I was mentioning before, there are a lot of casual educators who are meeting all different backgrounds. And when I speak to them and ask them, do they share the language, or do they like to? They say yes, I love to. But I don't know if I can, because I'm just a casual. I don't know how to do it. No, I don't know if I have to ask permission from the directors, or if the new group leaders would like that. Is that something that you discussed with your group leader or your director, or did you just kind of take the idea to do it? You're a bit stuck there, I think, Cynthia. Are we still going? There we go, we've got you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that, did you ever have a conversation with your staff and your colleagues about it, or you just did it?
I just did it because sometimes things happen when it wants to happen. You don't even have the time to say, oh, can I teach them language? Sometimes learning just takes place anywhere, anytime. as long as there's interest, we just have to catch them and cultivate them. And I know that sometimes I myself was being mindful that what if they are able to count 1 to 10 today? What about tomorrow or the next day when I'm not with them? Does that still stay in their mind and I can't do any follow up? But you will be surprised that because we have a share yard at the back, and they will come to me, I can count 1 to 10 in Mandarin. And I said, oh, really? Can you count that for me? And then they will start counting it to me. And they are very young, but they remember, yes. Sometimes they forget. Just have to prompt them and they can remember everything.
It's true, just a little prompting. Sometimes you just need to say like the beginning sound, just the initial of the number. You just go, and I'll go, oh, sang.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I'm moving my table. Yeah, that's what I do too. You're right, just that little prompt sometimes. I love your attitude. I love the way you just initiate ideas and you're innovative. And like you say, any time of the day is an opportunity for them to learn and have an experience in something, whatever that is. And because your specialty or one of your specialties is something that makes you stand apart from other educators, is your language, that's a perfect thing to draw them in. And I think it's very admirable that you do that naturally. And I would love for other people listening to the interview to gain courage from the fact that you do that and gain ideas and just do it spontaneously. So I just for other casual educators out there, just so you know, I've actually spoken with directors and group leaders asking them, if you had casual educators here who spoke another language, would you be happy for them to share that language with the children? I swear to you, every time the directors and the group leaders are like, oh my gosh, yes, we would love that. So anybody who's thinking, a little bit nervous or not sure if it's going to be accepted, oh my gosh, just do it. Look at Cynthia, she's just done it automatically. And then if you actually want to take them to the next step and do something, I would suggest, I don't know how you feel about this, Cynthia, but first of all, have you had any feedback from other staff that they see you doing your language and made any comments?
Yeah, actually I have colleagues from China. So we share the same language. And when they hear I teach the children language, they are really happy. They are so pleased. And they say, Cynthia, you're doing a good job. Like the other day, just a few weeks ago, like we celebrate Chinese New Year. And then I just very naturally, I just get a paper and start cutting lanterns in front of them without saying anything. And then the children just come crowding around. What are you doing? And then I said, I'm doing lanterns. You know, Chinese New Year, we have lots of red lanterns going around. And then the lanterns is like, red color is a symbolic of a lucky color.
So did you tell them red in Mandarin?
Yeah, so I start to introduce them the culture and the language of Mandarin. And then that afternoon, they just want to make lanterns and bring home. I mean, that's really nice thing to introduce our culture to them.
It's really nice, and it came to you so naturally. And so when you're doing these things and your other Chinese educators, you said you have other educators who speak Mandarin, when they see you do that, do they feel encouraged to do they want to do something themselves?
Yes, and then what the beautiful thing is, after my lantern project, she extended the lesson further by making dumplings.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, making real dumplings. So the next week, because after I introduced the lantern, then every group time, we tell them the story about the story behind the Chinese New Year through the YouTube cartoon, like the documentary. And then they start to sing in, okay, what is associated with Chinese New Year? Lantern, firecrackers, food, spring rolls, and then dumplings. That is very important for Chinese. So my colleague, who is the room leader, said, why not we make dumplings with children? And then before doing the dumplings, she introduced them the activity by doing Play-Doh. So get them exercise their fingers.
And then the next, like dumplings too.
Yeah. And then the next few days we do dumplings. And then I brought in chopstick. They start to use chopsticks to eat the dumpling for afternoon tea. It's really nice.
Yes. And have you had any comments from parents? The parents mentioned, like, the children
Oh,
go home and
parents,
talk about it?
they love it. And then the other day we just had a multicultural festival in Canberra.
Yep.
And then they saw lion dance. We've been talking a lot about lion dance that week. And then the beautiful thing is just yesterday, there is a children came to me and said, you know, I saw 3 lion dance at the festival. I said, really? What color is the lion dance? Because I was there too, so I know the 3 colors of the lion dance. And he told me exactly the same color. I was so happy. Not Mandarin, but because that was a bit too much for them.
Yeah.
But he remember, and he kind of be aware of the culture of China.
That's so great.
It's really good. Yes.
And can I ask you, when you're doing these beautiful cultural activities with them, do you introduce some of your words at the same time? Like, for example, if you were doing coloured lions, have you thought of maybe saying the colours in Mandarin, and the red lanterns, you say red in Mandarin, and keep repeating that so that they absorb it?
Yes, I did. But the thing is, because I moved from room to room, so so the effect is a bit less. Unless I did like maybe 1 week with them, keep on repeating, like your Christmas activity, the color red for the whole week.
Did you do that?
Thing. I wanted to do that, but I was away during Christmas. It's
well, you can do it anytime. It doesn't have to be Christmas.
Yeah. Yes. Right now, at the moment, I was practicing some Chinese manners, like Chinese words for manners.
Oh, beautiful.
The children, like for example, when I serve them afternoon tea, I encourage them to say 谢谢, thank you. And then, some of the children really responded, which is really good. And then the beautiful thing is, I think one of the parents came back to me and said, oh, my daughter was practicing some Chinese word at home, which I don't know what she's talking about. And then she said, did you teach her Chinese during the school? I said, yeah, your daughter has been saying 1 to 10 in Mandarin with me. I said, oh, no wonder she kept practicing at home, which is really
great.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And if you continue, like you introduce, you encourage them to say thank you in Mandarin. If you kind of make it a rule, even though it's a fun rule, the rule is every time every time they want to say thank you, they never say thank you again. It's always in Mandarin.
Yes.
And then they really, after a period of time, it becomes natural for them. Have you found that?
Yes. Especially when I even encourage them when we do nappy change or we do toileting. Like if I do them a favor by cleaning them up, and say, do you want to say 谢谢? Thank you. And then they said, yeah, 谢谢. And then they go. Yeah, anytime we can teach them languages. Anytime.
It's really, really true. And I hear educators saying to me, I'd like to do my language, but I just don't have time. We had this other theme in the classroom. I remember once somebody saying to me, oh, but it's been Mother's Day, so we've had all these Mother's Day activities that we're doing, and so I just didn't have time. Oh my gosh, that's the perfect opportunity. And you're proving it. You don't need more time. If you're doing a Mother's Day game, children are saying thank you. They're saying I love you. They're saying present. You can do that in your language just like you're doing. And you're proving that you don't need more time. It doesn't have to be an extra curricular activity. It's just something that you weave throughout your days in the most beautiful way. And whatever activity is in the classroom, then you can just take a word from that and just always do that in your language.
Yes, that's true. Just embed it in our daily life. That's the way.
That's exactly right. It becomes embedded. May I ask, do you have any other nationalities in your centre where you work? Are there other team members who speak other languages?
We have some Chinese colleagues and mostly Australians. Oh, there is one from Macedonian.
Oh,
one
really?
Macedonian educator. Yeah.
What age group does she work? What age group does she work?
She is in preschool.
And does she ever share her language?
I'm not sure, but I saw her using the language to comfort distressed children in Macedonia. That because the children came from the country itself, so I did see that it is really, really comforting for the children because they hear something familiar.
Familiar that they
Yeah.
recognize would be very
And there is one Indian educator too at the
as well.
babies. Yeah, and the thing is, there's one Indian baby who cried nonstop because that was his new week, and then she just say something in their common language, and the baby just stopped and like responded her with her eyes, like she was actually asking her, "Are you tired?" Because he was rubbing her eyes, his eyes, and then he responded like this, which is really good. Like they get connected straight away.
This is really exciting. So you potentially have Mandarin Indians or Hindi or something, and Macedonians. Do they have their own language in Macedonia? They don't speak Greek, do they? Do they have their own language?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But there's
Yeah.
potentially three languages.
Yes.
If you could encourage them to do what they're doing, you're saying they're using their languages with children who already speak that language, they have the same background. They could do the same thing that you're doing in their languages, and then all the children in your centre would have exposure and have this wonderful, exciting, this ear for all these exotic sounding words, and what a beautiful buzz, what a great atmosphere, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
How would you feel about encouraging those other educators to do it a little bit more with the other children?
I think it's very interesting because I will be very interested to hear the language as well, because I don't get to hear that a lot in this setting, because back home when I work it's multicultural setting, so we tend to hear different language all the time, but here it's mostly English. So it's good to expose our listening, especially the children. Is very good for their cognitive skills. Yes, so it's good actually, but this one have to come naturally from other educators as well. Like
Well,
maybe they get inspired.
that would be the ideal. The ideal would be that it comes naturally, but it doesn't always come naturally. Sometimes they just need that little nudge.
Yeah.
It's too.
Yeah.
And I've known educators who want to do more, but I don't know, they're just a little nervous for some reason. They're not sure if it's going to be well received or if everybody's going to be happy about it. So they know that people are happy about it. Then they start to do it and they can feel more encouraged, and then they see the children responding, and that inspires them to do more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have this beautiful, beautiful setting in your centre where that could really be a great feature. Parents can't send their children there and they know that they have exposure to all these beautiful languages and cultures. That's exciting.
Yes.
And especially in this era now where so much focus on integrating all different cultures and languages so that everybody will be happy, feel comfortable and supported in an environment. So even politically, that's a big subject, one of the big subjects of the day. How do we get everybody to integrate and create that sort of harmony? So we're creating that already with the children in daycare.
Yes.
That's a really good start, hey?
Yeah, and I think that like exposing our language or different language in childcare setting is really interesting, because we are not introducing them in a curriculum like, okay, now this 1 hour we're gonna learn Mandarin, solid Mandarin, this is what word, but it's just naturally any time of the day or anywhere, in the kitchen, in the toilet, in the bathroom, it's anywhere, in the yard. We can even say, oh, this sand, do you know what is in Mandarin? Is sa. Look, it's rough or it's smooth. That kind, you start to introduce little bit here and there, so they will just absorb everything. You'll be surprised. Yeah.
And you can even take it a step further, and I don't know how you feel. How many group sessions do you have every day? Like throughout a day, say for example in the preschool room, how many times would they have actual group sessions with the children? Organized?
Normally about 2 times.
Twice a day?
Twice a day.
So imagine if, sounds like you have a very supportive team, and especially if your group leader is Mandarin like you. Is she in the preschool room?
She's in the preschool room.
How would you feel if you went and said to her, "Hey, what do you think if I run a little group session in the group time today? And you run a group time and you do some language with the children as a group. And you can take some of the ideas we've got in our Week of Secrets group, and then you sound like a very inventive as well. And just take it to the next step. They're actually doing it's not formal, but it's just like it's intentional, a really intentional extra time that you get to spend, and whatever they might, I don't know, ask your group leader what activity were you going to do today, and then maybe you would do it and you use some of those words in Mandarin and turn it into a Mandarin activity with the children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or if
I know
you
what
had some
you mean.
ideas, what do you think? I'd love to take a little group. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it can be done depending on the opportunity arises, because sometimes casual will do more of like helping kind of job, especially during group time. You know, children might be very hungry before lunch and they start to be restless. Yeah, sometimes, depending on the opportunity. Like maybe normally I feel that opportunity arises with me is during playtime or the time before their parents come. We have a little group time together. That's when, that's our own initiative. Like if you want to just gather them around and talk to them or read a book to them.
And do you use that opportunity to do a language?
Yes, sometimes, depending on the whole situation of the children also. Sometimes they just don't want to listen or they are restless. It's not very, very effective to introduce, depending. Sometimes they are really good and they are in a mood of learning and they start talking a lot. That's the interesting
part. How about, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
So if they're a bit restless, you could maybe get them all, like do some active absorbing of your language. So get them all to stand up, for example, and get them all to, like in French, we go dancing, you do it in Mandarin, and some jumping or some clapping and some spinning around. So they're using their energy, because it doesn't always have to be sitting down quiet. Like you said, we'll get you to share your monster game in a minute too. But I don't know, is that's an idea that I find, like, so I turn up at childcare centres and I'm there especially to run some French sessions and my thinking. So sometimes children are really restless. Sometimes I'll go in with a plan of a game that I want to play where they're taking turns, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is working today because these kids are just so full of energy. You just got to quickly switch, and you get them to stand up and you get them to do something that's moving around, and they're still using the language, so they're still getting the benefits of the language and using their energy instead of sitting there getting distracted.
It's true. Sometimes when they are restless, they want people to excite them with games.
So maybe that's a way that you might be able to handle those children and still do what you want to do, but just in a slightly different way. Give it a try. Let us know if you try it. Let us know. Let us know what you did and how it went.
Maybe.
Go on.
Sorry?
Go on. What did you want to say?
No, I was thinking just now, like maybe using the Chinese word to make them do actions, because they need to release the energy. Like for example, I might say jump in Mandarin, like 跳. So they have to listen and they jump.
Exactly.
Jump that kind
of. Give them a bit of a goal. I find sometimes it works if you have a goal as well. So if you say, okay, let's see if we can jump and touch the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling, and then you say, what's the word in Mandarin? How do you say jump?
跳。跳。
Jump, and they all going out, jump, see if you can touch the ceiling. And that's a good idea. That works really well. And you can be a bit cute and silly sometimes. You can do some silly things to say a fun word, and that's great. You shared with me a little while ago an idea for a monster game that you play sometimes in the playground around the sandpit. Would you like to share it so everybody can hear? I loved this idea.
So the idea behind the monster game is actually to introduce them to Chinese words in a very short time, and children are able to grasp them really easily because this game is so easy and so fun. So the how do we play the game is like I give the children two words, da, which is big, and xiao, which is small. So they can take charge of this word and make me a big monster or a small monster by saying this Chinese word. So if they said xiao, I'll be really small monster and and they will be like so funny seeing me being silly. And I said da, and then I slowly grow into a big monster and chasing whichever children I want to chase. And they will be so hilarious and hysterical with that word da 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 da. And when they can't take it anymore, they will say xiao. So I become a tiny monster again. So it's so fun, and the game go on and on. And when I just left the ground, they are still playing among themselves.
Oh, see, that's so amazing. And plus, like you said to me before, they love the idea that they're controlling you as well, which is that added element of like it's control the teacher. And then because it's so much fun, they're just saying those words in Mandarin without even thinking anymore. It's just like, this is just fun. I want to do this because it's fun.
And they want to learn the word because they want to control me. If they can't say the word, they can't control me. And they start saying, big, big. I said, I don't understand what is big. I'm the monster, understand the two Chinese words. And they ask their friend, what should we say? And they say, da, da. And they start saying da, and I be the big monster.
I just love it, Cynthia. Such a great idea. You are just this beautiful example. You've just given so many examples that people can capture and use themselves in whatever language they speak. They can take your ideas and do little things with that. And you manage to show people really how easy it is, and just to feel like, how do you feel yourself when you do that? What's your emotion that you feel?
I feel really happy, and I feel really encouraged when children start, like an Australian children or other nationality children start speaking my language. I just feel that's really beautiful thing, like so cute, so beautiful. Very nice feeling inside, like I can feel the warmth. Even my colleagues said that's really beautiful thing to see them speak in our own language, like they embrace it just like that. They don't even say it's difficult, or like sometimes we adults say, nah, it's too difficult to speak in Italian or whatever language. They just pick
it up. Not true.
Yeah.
It's not, you just prove it. It's just so completely not true that it's difficult. It's not difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so natural for the children.
And you know, even if you speaking Mandarin and the other educator speaking Indian, for example, I know she's in a different classroom, but even if you're in the same classroom and the other educator, what's the other language you have? Macedonian? Yeah, even if you're all in the same classroom and you're doing what you're doing, those children will start to understand which words to use which words with which educator. They will just know that naturally after a period of time. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, and I also think that the educator also get to learn another new language from each other educator, which is really good.
I know, it benefits everybody. And it's also a really good example to the children. I think when they see the adults, first they come to understand that adults don't know everything and they're always learning. So as we go through our lives, everybody's always learning new things, which is a great example. And secondly, when they see the adults, when they see their teachers learning with them at the same time, learning somebody else's words, that's like an encouragement for them too. It's like sharing that experience with that other educator and learning at the same time. Because they're used to learning from the teachers, whereas here they're learning with the teacher, which changes the vibe. And I think that's very encouraging and a great atmosphere. Do you agree?
Yes.
So there are so many extra benefits that you don't originally consider, but when you think about it, you see it actually extends out into a lot of different areas and how it benefits the kids in a number of different ways.
Yeah, and each time I see a children with a special nationality background, I'm interested to know what language they speak. so that I maybe can learn a little bit by myself and start communicating with them to see if they get connected or not by the language.
They probably would. You could even ask the parents to tell the parents that you would like to. Do you do that? Like, feel comfortable to ask the parents for a few words and say, I would like to learn a little bit so that I can communicate with your child?
Yeah, actually, I like, but sometimes I don't have opportunity because of the pickup time is a bit later or earlier, you know, I missed it, yes. But if there's opportunity, I would love to.
That's great. That's so great. And it just fits in so well with all the government's trying to encourage this sort of thing within the childcare centres, the sharing of cultures and with all the for those people listening who are not in Australia we have this early years learning framework where this kind of thing is encouraged, and there are lots of sort of points and regulations where everybody's trying to include little bits into their program, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, you know, it ticks a lot of those boxes.
Yes.
It ticks a lot.
That's right.
Cynthia, it's been tough. You've got me feeling all motivated because I just love your enthusiasm and your passion and your wonderful ideas. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you, Judy. It's a pleasure to speak to you.
How do you say cheers in Mandarin? Cheers or like You know, if you glasses together, you say cheers.
Oh, we say yum sing.
Yum sing? Yum sing?
Yeah, yum sing.
I'll just turn the recording off. Thanks, Cynthia.
Okay,
I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.